My name is D. D for Divine, D for Deva, D for D. I'm your amiable host here on a never-ending series that I call the Golden Age Ascension Report. It'll be happening till the day I die. Then again, at my age, that may not be so far away. In fact, I've heard it said people at my age are over the hill and picking up speed. So we gotta hang in. We gotta hang in there while we can. Keep batting. Keep golfing. Keep doing your thing. Keep staying alive. So this is the second part of the introduction to my Golden Age Report, Ascension Report, a series that begins at 1 and goes into infinity. Should I be that lucky? Probably not likely. Might hit 1,000 before I die. Who knows? Anyways, we are here. We are now, and that's the whole point of it all. The whole spiritual teaching could be summed up in one little phrase: be here now. That means being conscious, being aware, moment to moment, as much as a person can. And if you are on a spiritual path, if you have done a certain amount of meditation, perhaps Vipassana meditations, and you've developed a certain amount of awareness, we as human beings on this earth now and for millions of years, at least several 100,000 years, we have been what is now called Homo sapiens sapiens. That basically means double knowing, doubly wise. We are aware that we are aware. Anyone who has a brain that functions most of the time without too many deficiencies, chemical deficiencies, and not too bad a home life, an environment, parents, so on and so forth, then that person is usually at a certain level of awareness. They can develop awareness. They can raise their frequency, and that is the whole point of the reason that we are alive right now, in this age, in this transition into this age that I know as the Golden Age, and which many other people know as the Golden Age. There's many other names. I actually call it Starship 7, Starship of Consciousness, Rising Levels of Consciousness. Just like my webpage, which, by the way, hint, hint, Starship 7 Oneness.com. Starship 7 Oneness.com. That's my number, and that's my webpage. And my book goes there as well. And I'll probably tell you about it before I go, or I'll put the link below to this book that I just finished and am just getting published. Probably in the next 2-3 weeks I'll have a soft cover in my hands. It's called Guide to the Golden Age, by myself, D. N. D. D for short. Get the book. Good book. Funny book. It turns out it's a funny book. And it was intended that way. And I actually was driven to put jokes from the second page, which is the inside page. Just after the cover page, you have a title, author page. On the other side is my list of jokes. I put 13 of them. And they're all or versions of my second title. My second title, by the way, is called How to Prepare for Very Big Changes on Our Very Tiny Planet. Or, but you got to buy the book to see the or. When you get there, go to the back cover. Check out the back cover, because it seems that was my drive too, to create the back cover in such a way that I had the humor going from virtually the top to the bottom of that back cover. Anyways, get the book. You'll see. You'll see. I warn you. It's very revolutionary. Written by a very spaced-out hippie artist philosopher. That's what I call myself, for what it's worth. So this is the introduction, the second part of the introduction to my very first introduction, which I did a few weeks ago. Of course, you know, I'm taking a different path. Back then, those 2-3 weeks ago, I had notes, and I was following along the notes. So now No notes, pure improv. We're doing it as it comes. And there's various reasons for that. One of the reasons is I have an advantage. Even though I'm not a public speaker, I've never been a public talker, I never did public discourses, I never did any of that. Though I was trained as an actor and as a musician and a few other things. As a musician especially, I developed the ability to improvise, and even with the acting, there was periods of time that we did the improvisation. And that's basically what this whole video is all about. I'm just improvising as I go along, trying to get in some key points that will beef up my original introduction, this being part 2. I think the main things that, some of the main things that we want to get across is, I'll be doing other videos, yes. Part of the time I won't be there. You'll just be seeing videos, miscellaneous photos, this and that, a collage of images and sounds that I'll be speaking to or speaking behind. And there'll be moments when I'll come back on and you'll see this body face again, this D. Call me D. Sometimes I'll even be playing music. Sing, play the guitar. I might even do what Z does. And she's a very remarkable young woman, a young Chinese Canadian, totally English, of course, Anglified. And she has her web page where she channels, and she speaks spontaneously. She just goes on for an hour and a half. She's brilliant. But in the beginning of her discourses, she uses a looper. It's a device that you sing or play into it. It records it, plays it back, and then you loop another line, second track, and then it records it, and then it plays it back. Now you've got 2 lines, and then she sings or improvises with her voice on top of it. So I'm going to do that a few times too. Some of the songs that I will be doing will be strictly and intentionally short. All they are is short segments of songs, basically little tastes of this and that, but with lyrics that generally are always pointing. Of course, you know, you can point this way, and that's all right too, but that's kind of the dark side, the negative, and you want to stay away from the negative. Although, the fact is, there's a saying, sin is in. This is a saying quoted by the devil, of course. No, okay, sorry, let me get back. Jesus loves you, so sin is in. Something like that. The whole point being, don't feel too guilty if you basically have a good time in life. Play around, do this and that. You just gotta make sure you don't hurt other people, intentionally or unintentionally, and develop your consciousness, develop your frequency, raise your consciousness. And one of the ways to raise the consciousness in a gradual, deepening or strengthening, augmenting way is to develop gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. You develop gratitude, that is, going through the day and stopping even for a few moments in time and just being grateful to life, thanking life for the sun, for the rain, the trees, for the ground, for the mountains, for the body, for the mind, for the soul, and for that's where all the angels hang out. And the demons hang out down here, but I like the angels better than the demons. We are going for the angels. Angels are my friends. Starship of consciousness, I call it. Starship 7, Starship of consciousness. Starship of rising levels of consciousness from the lowest basic root chakra, chakra 1, all the way to the 7th chakra, which is the right here, the crown of the head. But there as well are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 other chakras that goes from our body to the planet, to the solar system, to the galaxy, and to the universe itself, the mother universe. And by the way, for those people that might be curious, there is not one universe out there. There's a meta-universe, or a mother universe, and through the black holes and the white holes that are throughout the universes, baby universes get born. These are the daughter universes. So it's true, we are not in one universe only. We are in one universe, and there are sister universes, daughter universes, everywhere. No one knows how long, how far, how many, because no one knows how far back it goes. This is the meta-universe, the mother universe that gives birth to the daughter universes, which is full of her sons, her sun gods, her stars, her shining lights, who shine out their love and their light forevermore, for some billions of years, for some smaller stars, trillions of years. For our particular sun, that we know as our sun, our solo, our solai, the god of our sun god, a few billion years, 4.5, how about it, 16, 15, maybe high 13s into the 16s. That's about how long this particular universe has been going on from the Big Bang, from the calculations of the scientists way back then, which is not that far back. The Big Bang is more or less accepted by a lot of the scientific community. But who knows how many other Big Bangs there were before that. In fact, if there's another universe taking birth through a white hole, from a black hole into a white hole, whoop, she gives birth, she's the beginning, and in that beginning is another poof, Big Bang, a flaring forth. And that universe takes off and creates itself, creates life using all the main laws of physics and using the power of divine light and thought behind it all. In other words, the law of one, and in other words, the divine, the being that created all this, the infinite source. Some people call it many different names. Tao, Allah, being, consciousness, the Great Spirit, God, He, She, God, Goddess, that which is, all that is, the one and only, here and now, perfection, angelic eloquence, universal perfection. Well, any name you want, go ahead. By the way, if you're noticing this at any one point, this is the symbol in India. This is from India. It's called the Om, which is a peace symbol in India. Om. Om is apparently the first vibration that sounded in the beginning, which created all the other forms that came after it. Sometime in other episodes of this Ascension report, I'll go into some of the things that I basically talked about in the book. One of them is the top-down, basically the top-down creative downflow. Top-down downflow of creativity from the highest source. The source, which is infinite creation, all probabilities, all possibilities in the mother universe. And it steps down, and from that source comes the first thought, the first particle of light, the first photon, and from then on, all the fractals of the photons emerge and create the galaxies and the stars and the planets and the life and beings such as us, human beings sitting here on our little video screen talking to you, and you are listening to me, and I'm full of it, but that's the way it is. What can you do? And so it is, and so it is. Something like that. Listen, I don't want to get into this acting business. I like my namesake, Woody, we have a hard time coping with life. I mean, and especially we really don't want to take drugs, heavy drugs, because what happens is I take the drug, and all of a sudden I start melting. And then, soon, and after a while, I'm doing worse than melting. In fact, I'm kind of like just driveling away, and it's not a pleasant sight. It's not. And let's bring up the three taboo subjects that I don't like talking about, even though they're in my plays and my films: sex, God, and death. Now, sex, of course, I like. God, stay away from that. Death, nothing to do with that. I want to send it down there and keep this God up there somewhere, far away. I'm in the middle. I'm the middleman. Something like it. I see the shadows approaching. Oh my God, is that the demons? That's the demons. That's the darkness. It's coming at me. I gotta break free. Aha! I I am free once again. So, what do I do here? Maybe stop the film, eh? Okay.